Hey, hey, hey! It is time to talk about my vacay, baby. So, in this video, I'm gonna do a number of things. I'm gonna show you like what I spent on vacation. We're gonna see how much money I have left. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the experience, what we did, and things like that. And then at the end, I'm gonna show you a little bit of vlog footage that I took along the way. This may actually end up being a little bit of a longer video, so buckle up, baby. If you're interested in that, you're welcome. And if you're not interested in the long videos, but you're going to stick it out till the end anyway, I really appreciate you. So let's start by, I guess, just kind of talking about the trip and, just how was it, basically. So first of all, you guys, it was nuts. My daughter's behavior was just like a whole other level of nightmarish. So, to be honest, a lot of the trip was really rough. Now, I want to say if I repeat anything now that I say like in the vlog footage, I'm sorry. I, filmed that while I was on the cruise, so I obviously don't remember everything that I said. So, you may hear a couple of repeats, but yeah, so her behavior just got worse and worse as the week went on. The first couple days were really bad, and then just, I don't know, she was just out of sorts. And this happened last year also. It's just something about when she's not at home, she's not in her familiar surroundings, that she just gets cranky and grumpy and attitude and of course she was very tired and things like that also. So it's just her behavior got worse and worse. So it was just extremely frustrating. The last night, I think it was, not the last night, the night before the last, we were at the main dining room, just the four of us. We actually had to leave dinner even before we got our food because she was just screaming so loud. She knocked over her glass of milk on purpose. Like she was trying to throw the silverware. Like it was just nuts. And the main dining room is a little bit of a nicer place. It's where people like to go to sit down, have a formal served meal and things like that. And we just didn't want to be the one with a screaming kid ruining everyone's dinner. So my husband literally carried her out, kicking and screaming, out of the dining room. She just lost her shoes, everything. I waited a few minutes. I actually asked for his meal to go. At that point, I didn't even care about eating. I also didn't feel good, which I will talk about that in a minute. So I actually asked for his food to go, and then my daughter's little fruit cup to go that she had, and then I took those back to the room, and I ordered room service for myself while my daughter laid in bed with me, and she ended up falling asleep. She fell asleep at 8:30 that night and slept all the way till 9:30 the next morning, so to say that she was exhausted was an understatement. But that was the second to last night, so let me back up. So let's see. I don't even know what I want to say. Like, I didn't plan out anything really specific to say. We went on Royal Caribbean. Symphony of the Seas was the name of the ship, sailing out of New Jersey. We went to the Bahamas. We stopped at Port Canaveral, Florida, Nassau, Bahamas, and then Royal Caribbean's private island, Perfect Day at Coco K. My favorite was Perfect Day at Coco K. I just love it there. It's like a true paradise. There's so much to do, and I absolutely love it. The food, I would say overall, this was probably the food that I liked least of all the cruises I've been on. This was my maybe, I don't know, fourth or fifth cruise. I've only been on Royal Caribbean and Norwegian cruise lines, and I've always loved the food. This was my least favorite. I didn't love the choices that were available, and then most things tasted okay. I had a couple things that were really delicious, but overall I would say, maybe like a 6 out of 10 for the food, just in my opinion. What else? I did get the alcohol package, so we will talk about how much I drank. I don't really really even kind of know what to say. As far as being sick, so on, I don't even remember what day, you guys. My daughter, I know I say this in the vlog too. My daughter had a fever at night. We were up on the deck, actually just, kind of walking around on the ship. And my mother-in-law actually noticed that she felt kind of warm. So my sister-in-law, the amazing packer she is, she actually had a thermometer with her. We took my daughter's temperature, and she did have a little bit of a fever. So we went and got her some Tylenol at one of the little gift shops, gave her some Tylenol. She went to sleep. And then the next morning we woke up. She actually threw up the next morning. But then, I don't know. I feel like that was maybe a little bit of a fluke, maybe a little bit of motion sickness or something, because after that, she kind of seemed fine, basically, for the rest of the trip. So her sickness or whatever it was didn't last long at all. But she got me sick and my husband sick. So the Coco K, again, like I said, my favorite day at Coco K. The first thing that happened is a certain unwelcome aunt stopped by, and women, you may know what I mean by this. She was unexpected. She wasn't supposed to arrive until actually tomorrow. So I had nothing with me. And I actually meant to bring a couple things just in case, but of course I forgot. So I had to, so this was Coco K Day. This was in the morning, early in the morning. She showed up. I'm like, oh. So I had, again, nothing with me. Now, we're in port. So when you're in port, the shops and things like that are closed on the ship. So I call actually the medical facility. I asked for feminine products. They said, check the vending machines. So they had this little room with a bunch of different vending machines with all kinds of stuff. Medications, I don't even know, because I was only in there the one time, but just things not like snacks vending machines, things that you could buy that are, little travel items that maybe you forgot to pack. So I went up to the vending machines. They were closed because we were in port. So then I go down to the promenade deck where all the shops are to buy something from there. They were also closed because we were in port. So then I go to guest services and I say, you know what, I need feminine products. All of the stores are closed and blah, blah, blah. And he tells me, ma'am, you can check the vending machines. I'm like, don't you people know that your own vending machines are closed right now? But also, there were none in the vending machines anyway, even if they were open. So I said, there's none there. The vending machines are closed. So he said, okay, I can, give you a couple. So he goes in the back, and this is such a man thing. He comes out and hands me an envelope, and he goes, here are your tickets, ma'am. I'm like, okay, thanks. So he gave me a couple just to tide me over, which was fine because I was able to go grab some later on in the day when the shops were back open after we set sail again. So that was the first thing that happened. Again, that was Coco K Day. Then that night after dinner, I started to feel like I had a sore throat. It wasn't bad or anything. It didn't keep me down or stop me from doing anything, but I was like, oh great, I might be getting sick. The next morning, you guys, I seriously felt dead. I told my mom, I'm like, I feel dead. I feel like a dead person right now. I felt so bad. My head was pounding. I had such pressure in my head. I felt terrible. I was congested, all the things. And that same morning, my husband also felt terrible. We actually had 2 rooms. I don't know if I ever mentioned this. We had 2 rooms because the way that the deals happened to work out when we booked the cruise, it was actually cheaper for us to get 2 ocean view rooms than 1 balcony room. And the 2 separate rooms actually ended up being amazing. More space, things like that. So it was awesome, and they were next to each other too. So, I mean, it was great. So the next morning I went over to his room to, you know, kind of get my son up, make sure he was up and all the things. And he said he didn't sleep the night before. He was tossing and turning. His head was pounding. His body was aching. Like he thought he had the flu. So he literally stayed in bed till like 4:30 that day. He did not get out of bed the whole day. I also felt terrible, but I had the kids. I let him, you know, stay in bed, the wonderful, amazing wife that I am. I went up to the pool deck for a little while. Again, I just kind of like sat around. My daughter's behavior at this point was starting to get really out of hand. And then, you know, my mom took her for a little bit to give me a little bit of a break. I went in the hot tub. At this point, I had like chills and then I was sweating. So I definitely had a fever. I also know I had a fever because my ring monitors my temperature. So I definitely had a fever. And then at whatever point in the afternoon, I said, you know what, I'm going to go and try to take a nap. So I took Ivy back to my room with me, hoping that she would kind of nap and let me nap a little bit. She didn't really nap, but she did, you know, lay on the bed with me and watch TV, and I was able to get a little bit of a snooze in. And then Rowan just kind of watched Matt's phone, my husband's phone, and just like watched YouTube videos. So I did get a little bit of a rest. Then when I woke up, I actually felt a little bit better that afternoon. But then as the evening kind of rolled on, I started to feel crappy again that night. That was the worst of it. The next day I got up, I definitely felt much better. Like I didn't have the pounding headache. I was still congested and things like that, but it was definitely more manageable. And then the following day was today, Friday, the day we got home. As you can probably hear, I'm still congested, but I feel fine. I don't have a sore throat. I don't have a pounding headache or anything like that. So I will take congestion over, you know, all the other stuff. So yeah, I got Aunt Flo and sick on the cruise. All right, I don't want this video to be too long. So let's take a look at the spending that we did. So what I did was I highlighted any alcoholic drinks in red. No, I'm lying. Any coffee in orange. This is not red, it's orange. Coffee and orange, alcoholic drinks in yellow, with a couple caveats. So the coffee, the reason I am tracking this is because the coffee was included in like my deluxe beverage package. It was like Starbucks. So it's kind of a little bit weird. They have standalone Starbucks kiosks on the ship that are not included in the beverage package, but they have a couple locations at their cafes that serve Starbucks. They are not Starbucks locations, but they serve Starbucks, so those are included in your drink package. So you know, I got my coffee from there so that it was free. Now there are a couple of charges on here for coffees because my husband, like if I went and got if we got a coffee at the same time, I could only get one drink at a time with my drink package. And so if we were there at the same time, he just had to pay for his. So there are a couple charges on here, which actually I didn't mean to highlight those because I only wanted to highlight the free ones. But anyway, so that's what that's about. So let's just talk a little bit about the spending first of all. So again, these are some coffee. Playmakers is a bar, like restaurant. So we did eat there twice. I'm not sure what this $4.13 even is, honestly. Some kind of charge. Sugar Beach is for some candy. They had a little candy store there, so we got some candy. Again, some more candy. Playmakers, this was probably the first dinner we had. No, this was the last night. This is backwards, I think. So we ate dinner there the last night for $45.97. Port Merchants, so this was when Aunt Flo arrived and I had to go get some things at the shops, and the things are expensive. Okay, guys, like, you know, this was like 2 items. So yeah, $30 there. Then, you know, we have some drinks here. Again, these are all $0 because I had the drink package. Let's see what else. Lots of drinks. You can see lots of coffees in here also. Pool bar $16.46. So although I had the alcohol package, I did get the one day they had fresh pineapples at the pool that they corn, and they were making these smoothie like alcoholic drinks. So you got to like choose the pineapple if you wanted. And then they put like this tropical flavored like smoothie in there, and then you could choose what type of alcohol you wanted. So of course I had to get one because, you know, it's me. And then I also got my daughter, of course, a non-alcoholic one in like a souvenir cup. So that's what that is. The alcohol, like, it was free, but there was an upcharge for the pineapple because of course there is. And then for the souvenir cup, it was a few dollars as well. So that's what that is. This was Playmakers. Again, we ate there a different night with my mom and her boyfriend, and that was $40. A little bit more candy. Let's see, another coffee for my husband there. Let's see, these gangway beverages. So a couple times before getting off the ship, they have like a little cart there with ice where you could grab a drink or something. So these are bottles of water or Powerades or something like that. I did get room service twice. Once the morning of Coco K because I wanted our breakfast to be there because we wanted to get off the ship as early as possible and we didn't want to waste time trying to go get breakfast. So I wanted the breakfast to already be there. So that was the first time. And then the second time was the second to last night when we left dinner because my daughter was just so terrible. We came back and like I said, I ordered room service for myself and she ended up falling asleep. So 2 charges for room service on here for $9. Let's see, more coffee, more drinks, more. So Sugar Beach, again, that's the candy shop. My son wanted this little stuffed puppy, so, you know, we bought that for him. Adventure Ocean is the kids club. Rowan went there a few times. Ivy only went the first night. Boy, was it glorious. The very first night she went, we had a few hours to, I think we caught a show. I can't even remember. But we were able to go to the casino a little bit. It was amazing. But she never wanted to go back. They also said her behavior was not the best. So, yeah. Now, on the last cruise we went on last year, she didn't go at all. So I'm thankful we at least got one night out of it. But it's free, but after 10 p.m., it's $10 an hour per child. And it ended up being where we picked her up at like 10:30, so she was only there a half hour. But my son was also there, so they charged us $5 each. So that's that $10 there. Coco K Island Market. So when we were on Coco K, my daughter, I brought 2 bathing suits for her. Both had long sleeves. I like to try to keep my kids in long sleeves when out in the sun. I'm sorry if I'm sniffling a lot. You know, I'm sick. So I like to try to keep them in long sleeves when out in the sun, just, you know, for sun protection. But she was not feeling those long sleeve bathing suits this entire trip. She kept wanting to take her shirt off. And so at Coco K, stupid me, I forgot to bring her like a shirt to, you know, change into. I ended up buying her a little t-shirt. It was $18. Is that expensive? Yes, it is. Did I pay it anyway? Yes, I did. And then Port Merchants, that was one of the shops, $32. That was for Tylenol, and then a couple other stupid little things that we definitely did not need. So all in all, we spent $269.56. This is on my credit card now. This does have to be paid. So those are, you know, again, things that we paid for over and above the cost of the cruise that was already paid, over and above the alcohol that was already paid, and everything like that. $269. It's not the best, but it's, you know, it's not terrible. I wanted to keep the bill under $300. We did. And so, you know, I'm fine with it. So I kind of quickly wanted to add up how many coffees I had and how many drinks just to kind of see, was the beverage package worth it? I forget how much I paid. I think it was around $600 for the beverage package. So really quickly, let's see. I'm just going to count up how many coffees and how many drinks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And some of these I'm not counting because, again, I only want to count the free ones. 9, 10, looks like 11 coffees. That's a lot. And then for alcohol, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 26, I think that was. It's a lot less than I thought it would be. Now, those weren't all alcohol. Like I said, there were a couple of those gangway beverages on there. But I'm still counting them anyway because that would have been a charge, you know, without the package. And then a couple times I got my husband like a Red Bull, which was also included in the package. So let's just work this out. So 11 coffees, if you figure around $5 for a coffee, that's about 55 bucks. And, you know, it could be less, it could be more. I don't know what the price was, but I'm just averaging $5. I got a cappuccino every time. Those are pricey. And then 26 drinks. So the average price of a mixed drink was $14. It seemed like everything was about $14. Now, I drank mostly frozen drinks, mudslides, and daiquiris and things like that. So maybe they were a little bit more because, I don't know, they were frozen. But I don't know. I don't know how much they were. So I'm just going to do 26 times $14. And that's $364. So if you add $364 plus 55, that's only $419. So in the end, it probably was not worth it for me. I probably did lose money on the drink package. However, it was just nice, okay? It was just nice to have it. It was convenient. Everything was paid for. It obviously, you know, kept my bill from being too high and things like that. And so I don't regret it. You know, maybe I lost money, but it is what it is, okay? So that is the spending. That's our total that we owe now, $269. Again, that does have to be paid. Let's go over and take a look at how much I have left. So I like to write things down for myself. If you watch my channel, you know I forget things in an instant. And so I like to write things down. So I got this off Amazon. I actually really like this. This came in a bunch of colors. I can actually link this in my Amazon storefront if you guys are interested. I had this around my neck when getting on and off the ship. It has our passports, the kids' birth certificates. I kept my money in this. I just liked having it just around my neck, readily available, so I didn't have to dig around in a purse or a bag or anything like that. It has a ton of compartments, one up here, here, this zipper one, this here, a side zipper. There's a back compartment, and then again the strap. There's also a little carabiner here. So it has a ton of compartments, a lot of space. You could fit a cell phone in here. And so this was what I kept my money in. I kept my money in the safe in the room the entire time unless I wanted to grab a couple dollars for the casino or something like that. And so this money is all still in here. All right, so let's see. So I believe I had around 1,000, 1,100 or so when I, you know, before we left. Now, I figured out $500 for spending, $250 for the dog, $150 for gas, $250 for parking. That was my original budget. I realized when I dropped the dog off that I grossly underestimated the amount that the dog was going to cost. The dog was $49 a night. And I don't know what I was thinking, only budgeting $250. The final total came out to $407 for the dog. So what I did here was I took from my $500 spending, added it to the dog for a total of $415, and then gave myself $330 for spending. And I just kept this paper in my thing here just so I could see, okay, I have $330 of this money is for spending. So don't spend more than $330. I didn't spend anywhere near that, but again, just for my kind of like peace of mind. I also had this separate envelope with the money for the parking and money for gas, you know, just so I didn't get it confused. Now, the gas. So before we left, I gassed up the car. I already had almost a full tank. I think I spent around $40. And then I have, that's all the gas money. I spent like barely any because, you know, that got us to the port, that got us home from the port, and then I got paid today, so that when I fill up my tank tomorrow, that's just going to come out of my regular paycheck, and I'm not going to, you know, take it out of here, because it's, you know, not necessary. So this should be I guess 250 plus, I don't know, maybe 110 or something like that. So let's see what we have here. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 20, 40, 50, 60. So the parking was 210. Let me take that out right now. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 10. My husband paid for the parking because it was credit card only. I didn't bring a credit card, so I told him to just pay for it and I would give him the cash. So that's this. So right off the bat, this is going to go to my husband. So let me just set this aside. Parking is taken care of. It was $30 a day. I already knew that going in. I did budget, you know, $250 just as a little extra. But so that's the parking, and then 20, 40, 60, 80, 1, 20, 40, 50, 150 for gas. So we basically have all the gas money left. All right, and then the dog I already paid for, all in cash. So the rest of this should be around that $330 minus whatever I spent. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to put it all together. I'm going to grab a little sort quick. We're going to count this up. Again, the dog is paid for. The gas obviously is paid for. Duh, we're back home. And the parking's paid for. So the rest of this is for me. Now, what will I do with this? Well, again, we have about 300 or 270, I think it was, that still needs to be paid on the credit card. So probably most of this should go to that. If there's anything left, I could do a couple things. A, I could just put it in my savings. B, I could stuff it into savings challenges. C, I could save it, you know, as a little bit towards the house. D, I could save it towards another vacation. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, is what I'm trying to say. So let's see what we got here. 20, 40, 60, 81, 20, 40, 60, 82, 20, 40, 60, 83, 3, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 350. Let me just put this on the calculator because I'm going to forget. 350. All right, 5, 10, 15, 25, 35, 45, 50. So 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 33. So $433 we have left. So yay, that's awesome. So what did we owe here? Let's see, on my final bill, $269.56. So minus $270, which means I have an extra $163 to put towards something. Honestly, I'm thinking about maybe giving it to my husband as a little bit of money towards our trip to Maryland in August. He paid, let's see, he paid probably about $1,200 towards this trip. All in all said and done, between the cruise fare, the drink package, you know, the excursions, the spending, things like that, I would say the trip was probably around $5,500, maybe close to $6,000 after all is said and done. He did pay, like I said, probably around $1,200 of that. So, you know, again, I paid the bulk of it, but he did pay a nice, you know, amount towards it. We agreed, if you haven't heard me talk about this before, we agreed I would pay for this trip, he would pay for the Maryland trip, which the Maryland trip is probably almost going to be just as much just to go to Maryland, because we stay in a condo and it's just getting really expensive. So, like I said, 163 left. I might give that to him. I don't know. I'm just gonna I think I'm gonna kind of hold it for a little bit, in case you know, things with the house, like in case I just really need a little bit of extra money. You know what I'm trying to say? I can't even talk right now. I think that's what I'm going to do, is just kind of hold on to it. And then once we're kind of through closing and things like that, when I decide it's a good time, then I will I guess, decide what to do with that. So let me actually write that down. So this goes to the hubs. We have 163 left over, and then we got 270 to pay the card. So it's wonderful and amazing. I could pay the credit card off, have zero, not get any money charged in interest. And I was able to do that all with money that I saved prior to going on vacation. So, I mean, I am extremely happy about that. We have no bills. We're not going to get any credit card interest or anything like that. The best thing also is I expected to gain 10 pounds. I'm not kidding. Like, if you've never been on a cruise, the amount of food that you could eat is just disgusting. And boy, did I eat. I ate and ate and ate, and I drank, and the drinks that I drank were so high calorie. Again, I said frozen drinks, sugary drinks, all the stuff. But when I stepped on the scale today when I got home, I had only gained 1 pound, which is amazing. Now, I'm going to weigh myself tomorrow morning because, I don't know, I just kind of don't believe it. Maybe tomorrow morning I'll be up 10 pounds, although I don't know how. But yeah, we will just see. Okay, so this video, we're at 31 minutes. So instead of putting the vlog footage in here, I think what I'll do is just make a separate video. That one will be very, very short, like probably 5 minutes or less, because I didn't do much filming at all. I didn't take any pictures, you guys. I barely took any pictures at all. I don't even think I got one of myself. I got maybe 2 pictures of the kids. That's it. I know I took a couple at Coco K. I just, between my daughter's behavior and just me trying to like relax and whatever, I just didn't take pictures. So the pictures that I did take, I will insert. I don't know if I'll insert them here in this video or in the vlog. I guess we'll just see. But either way, this video is long enough. If you have any questions about the trip or anything like that, maybe you're thinking about going on a cruise, maybe you're thinking about doing Royal Caribbean or something like that. If you have questions or want to know my experience with a certain thing, ask me below. I'll of course be happy to answer that. We did the escape room on the ship. It was awesome. It was very hard. We did not escape. So I highly recommend. But yeah, like I said, if you have questions, just let me know below. And yes, thank you for watching. I am happy to be back home. Like I said, on the mend. Hopefully get rid of this congestion soon. My daughter is back to her home, so hopefully her behavior will be better now. But I appreciate all of your support. I love you guys. I missed you. I really did. I'm excited to get things back to normal and not excited to go back to work, but it is what it is. And so yes, thank you so much for being here. I love you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.